Hello, hello everyone. Ooh, there's people waiting. Waiting room. Hello. Let me just mute all of these. Just mute that as well. Hey guys, can everyone hear me? I don't know if anyone can hear me. Can anyone hear me? If you just write in the chat if you can hear me. Oh, perfect. Right, I'm just gonna let everyone else in because there's some people waiting in the waiting room. Don't know why, because the meeting started now, so everyone should be allowed in. Okay, cool. Hey guys, so I'm just gonna wait around 5 minutes, just give people a bit of time to join. But whilst we are waiting, I want everyone to introduce themselves. Hey girl, hey Julie, how are you? I just want you to write in the chat your name and where you're from and what brand or business you're building. Even if you just in the beginning stages, you haven't even started it, it's just an idea. Write it in the chat what type of brand or business you're building. I cannot wait to hear about it. Hope everyone's coming in. Okay. Yeah, I'm just, oh, that video should not be on. If everyone can just make sure the video and their mic is muted as well. That should have been done by me. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, just make sure you are on mute. Hey Hilda from London, not too far from me then, and you're considering starting a YouTube channel and blog. How exciting. What's the blog going to be about? Let us know. I don't know why there's this waiting room going on. Let me see if I can change that. Ooh, hey Justice from Australia. And you've got a YouTube channel, that's amazing. Hey Falguni from London as well. Cannot wait to meet you literally within a week's time in LA. That's going to be so cool. Hey Tamara. Hey Navisha. Hey Katie. Oh, so many of you guys are joining. Amazing. We'll give it like 2 more minutes and then we'll get started. Let's see, some more people are joining. I honestly don't know why it's not just off. Oh, right, okay, here we go. Oh, there we go. Right, okay, people should just be able to join whenever they can make it now. Not sure. Hey, Adibola. Hey, Debbie. Ooh, so many of you guys are here. Hey, Sham. Ooh, hey, Robin. I can see you on video. If you just want to stop your video, hey. Wait, I think I can do it for you. Yeah, I've done it. Cool. A few more people are joining. Hey, Elaine. Tamara, hey Faith. Oh, so many of you guys. I am so excited to teach this masterclass. You don't even understand. So yeah, let's give it another minute and then we'll just get started straight away. Hope you guys have all got a drink. Hope you've all been toilet, all of that good stuff. Hey Dee Dee. Oh, so many of you guys from London. Wow. Hey Taylor. Hey Fundiswa. Hope I've pronounced that right. And you're from South Africa. Wow, that is amazing. Taylor from the US. That's so cool. All right, guys, we're going to get started now. There's quite a few of us in here, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. We've got so much to go through. So let me just get my little presentation ready. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. So hopefully you guys can see that. Let me know in the chat if you can see that, all right? Where's my chat? Guys, can you all see the presentation? Yes, you can see it. Okay, cool. Perfect. Yep. Move that. Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, let's get started. Let me just get that up. Yeah, so let's get started. So welcome to Build Your Brand and Maximize Your Influence Masterclass. I am super excited to teach this masterclass. I've been working so hard on it and I know you guys are definitely going to like it. So just before we do get started, I do want you to turn on your phone onto airplane mode. Hopefully you guys are on a laptop right now. It just makes the viewing experience so much better and we want to minimize any distractions. So make sure you do turn your phone on airplane mode. Grab a notebook. You're going to want to make notes, guys. There's so much information in here, so you're definitely going to want to make some notes. And like I've just said, if you are, just make sure you are watching this masterclass on a computer or a laptop. It'll just make life so much easier and you can see the screen in full and it's just so much better that way. Share this masterclass with your community as well. So I will be having a replay so you can watch it back, but then also if there's anyone in your audience that you know can benefit from this, just send them it. It doesn't hurt to share. And then lastly, just be open to new ideas. There's going to be some things in this masterclass that you probably already know, but there's going to be a lot that you don't know. So just be open to learning, whether you're a complete beginner starting from scratch, or whether you know a bit about branding, or whether you are an expert in branding. I guarantee there's going to be something in this masterclass that you can take away. So you are in the right place if you do not want to spend another second of your time wasting your time. So if you are constantly telling yourself, oh, you want to start a brand or you want to start a business or a blog, whatever it is, but you're just constantly wasting your time, you're not being proactive and you're just not trying, you're just watching videos, watching free trainings like this one. Obviously this is going to be a good one, but watching free trainings, but yet you're not putting anything into action. Secondly, you're in the right place if you're sick of researching and not finding the answers. So like I've just said, you're constantly watching YouTube videos, free masterclasses, live trainings, but yet you're not finding the right answers. You're also in the right place if you need to get over yourself. Like, let's just be real, guys. You need to get over yourself and stop feeling like you're not qualified enough to do whatever it is that you want to do. And then lastly, you're in the right place if you need to start taking action and being held accountable for your actions as well. So this masterclass is not for you if you are looking for a quick fix. So if you think you can just watch this masterclass and then everything's going to work out and you're just going to build a successful brand like that, it's not going to happen that quick. And it's also not for you if you're not ready to take action. So if you're just always on the fence about everything and you say, oh yeah, maybe one day I'll do it, maybe one day I'll try this, but you're not really in a position to take action, this masterclass probably isn't for you because this is all about action takers. And then lastly, if you're not ready to invest in yourself, investing yourself with your money and your time. So in order to be successful in anything, you really have to invest either or money or time into something. So yeah, definitely you need to consider that. So let's go over what we are going to be can't even talk now. So let's go over what we are going to be discussing today. So we're going to be discussing the key strategies for building your personal brand. So there's so many layers to personal branding. There's so much we can cover, but I'm just going to really give you the key fundamental steps to building your personal brand. And I'm going to tell you the core things that you need to learn and master in order to repeat and be successful over and over again. We're also going to be uncovering your brand story and how you can use your story to attract the perfect audience that are going to want to listen and are going to be invested within your story and within your brand. So then we're going to also be teaching you how to build a dedicated, engaged and loyal tribe. And then last but not least, of course, we're going to be going over how quick and easy ways how you can monetize your platform as a micro-influencer and a small business owner. So yeah, if that sounds all good with you guys, leave it in the chat, leave me a comment saying you're ready to get started, and we'll jump straight into it. Let me just make sure. I'm just going to make sure everyone is in who is wanting to be in as well while we're doing that. Yeah, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. All right, cool. So let's get into it. Let me just move that. What have I done? Cool. Okay, and also guys, you are going to want to stay to the end because I do have 2 special bonuses. So the first one is a freebie, and you're going to get your own free personal brand workbook. So you can work through this, and it's going to show you all the steps necessary for building your personal brand. And then also the next thing that you're going to receive is a super special early bird discount on a new program that I'm launching. So I'll definitely let you know all about that at the end. So let's get into who I am and why I'm actually qualified to teach this masterclass to you guys today. So hey everyone, I am Montelle B, and I'm a mindset and personal brand coach. I help female creatives and entrepreneurs transform their fears into confidence, maximize their skills, and become a leader. I'm 23 years old. I was born and raised in Leeds in the United Kingdom. I've been a content creator on YouTube for 5 years, and with only 5.5k on Instagram and 12k subscribers on YouTube, I've managed to monetize my platform and build a coaching business. But it wasn't always like this for me, guys. Just like you are probably now, I was stuck and frustrated. I was searching for the non-existent secret formula. And I know you guys feel me on this one. I know you've been on YouTube, you've seen all these bloggers, all these influencers, and you've been like, how are they doing this? What is the magic secret that they're not willing to share with anyone? I know you see them getting all this engagement and you feel like you're consistently posting and you're not getting that same engagement, and there just must have been a secret formula. Don't worry, I felt like that too. So before figuring everything out, I was consuming content. I was binge watching YouTube videos for that 10-second inspiration. And I know you guys know what I mean with this one as well. When you watch a video and you're like, right, I'm going to do everything they told me. I'm going to copy them. I'm going to do this and that. And you just find it doesn't really work out for you. So yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. I was also waiting until I had all of the right equipment. I wanted all of the things. I wanted the nice backdrop. I wanted the nice camera. I wanted everything. So I waited until I had everything, which if I would have just put myself out there, I probably would have maybe been a lot further along than I am right now. I was also creating content, then second guessing myself and not uploading. So again, I know you can feel me on this one. I've got so many videos that I've created and I've just put myself off posting. So I didn't post them. And then months down the line, I've come back to this video and I've been like, oh, wow, I should have just posted that. Or that picture, I should have just posted that at the time when it was relevant, like it was good quality content. And now you feel like it's old and you just don't want to post it. So ultimately, you're just wasting content. I was also trying to copy what everyone else was doing. So like I've said, I was watching YouTube videos and I was just copying what other people was doing, how they was talking, the information they were sharing. And obviously that didn't work, because you'll be surprised how quickly people can pick up on you trying to imitate somebody else. So if you're copying someone or just reiterating what they're saying, it shows. So you want to be as original as possible. I was treating my brand like a very inconsistent hobby. So I was just picking it up here and there. I was posting whenever I felt like it. I'd post one week and then I wouldn't post for another month. But yeah, I was still expecting to have that same engagement. How does that work? You have to have some sort of strategy, which brings me on to my next point. I was not being intentional, or I didn't have a strategy, and I was just posting and hoping for the best. I was just posting random things and hoping they'd pick up the right audience, which obviously didn't work. So this is everything I was doing before. And as you can see, I was frustrated. Nothing was working for me. But all I knew is I wanted this so bad, because I knew I served a higher purpose in life than working in a 9-to-5 office, building somebody else's dream. So I don't know about you guys, but I can honestly only last 2 years in a job. And no matter how much I thought I loved that job, after 2 years, I'm just like, nah, can't do it, not feeling it, I need to leave. Some of you may know that I worked at Mac, and I was like, yeah, this is a dream job, doing makeup all day, looking glamorous, like what girl wouldn't want this? And I didn't want that. After 2 years, I was like, nah, need to leave, can't deal with management, just cannot deal with being below somebody. So I had to leave that job. My most recent job, which I left November 2018, that was working in a call center. And you guys are probably going to be like, what? But I honestly loved that job. I was just doing sales, selling broadband, but I loved it. It was uncapped commission. I was making so much money. I had so many friends. It was a fun job. But yeah, it literally got to my 2-year anniversary and I was like, nope, can't do it anymore, need to go. So that's why I just ended up going traveling from that point. So yeah, I noticed the pattern that no matter what, I just knew I served a higher purpose than working in a company, and I just knew it couldn't work for me. So here is the truth about me, and I want to tell you guys a bit about my story because context is so important, and you'll see later on down the masterclass I do talk a bit more about context. But I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to share a bit of my story with you, and if you do mind, I'm going to share it anyway. So here's a bit about me. 1 second. Just get my slide up. Cool. Just gonna have a quick drink as well. Cool, so I'm gonna share my story with you now. So I've come from a Caribbean background. Both my parents, my mum and my dad, are Caribbean. And I've grown up with literally no support from my mum or my dad. My dad has been in jail for the whole of my life, and he's going to be in jail for the rest of his life. And my mum has just been very absent throughout my life. So I spent my time moving around from living with my stepdad to my auntie and various other family members. I've literally been bounced around from like pillar to post. I'm the gypsy of the family. I've been through everything. So yeah, I was moving around, and life for me as a teenager was quite difficult. I suffered with severe eczema and acne, which totally destroyed my confidence. So throughout my whole teenage years, I was just so reserved, so self-conscious, so paranoid. I was a massive introvert. I was socially awkward, and I was suffering with depression as well. I didn't speak to anyone. I didn't speak to my family. I didn't want to speak to friends. While my friends was chilling or on a break at school or college, I was doing therapy sessions. And I literally didn't tell anyone because I was just so embarrassed and so insecure about it. So then at the age of 13, I had no choice but to move from my auntie's back in with my mum because I literally had nowhere else to go. My auntie's house was just too small. There was no space for me, so I had no choice to move back, which is what I did. So I was living there for a bit, and then at the age of 17, my mum just decided it's time for me to leave. I'm officially an adult now, so it's time to fend for myself. So that is literally what I did. I moved out, I got myself a flat, I got myself a job, well, various jobs actually, but I got myself a job and I was just independent from then on out. And I honestly believed that working in a company and working my way up a company was the only way I could be successful. I didn't go to uni because, of course, I had to work. So I had bills to pay, I had rent to pay. I could not go the general route of education like everyone else could. And I kind of grew up doubting that decision, feeling like, oh, I should have gone. I had all this potential to go. And then eventually I just talked myself out of it. And I was like, you know what, Montelle, you're creative anyway, so you don't need to go to uni. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But I feel like I just told myself that because the opportunity to go was taken away from me anyway. So I think that's just the kind of cover up that I made for myself. So the list can honestly go on. I can tell you so much about my story, but I don't want to take up your time. This is obviously about personal branding, this masterclass. But I want to tell you a bit of my story, not to look for sympathy at all. I do not want anyone's sympathy. I'm telling you this because I know, I can guarantee that our story or our struggles are similar in some way, shape or form. So I'm telling you this to show you what is possible. And the difference is I told myself that enough is enough. I knew that there has to be a way out. And even if I didn't have that support from my parents, I cannot let that dictate my future. I could have easily rewrote my mum's story and I could have blamed her for the outcome of my life. I could have just been a bum and said, well, I never had the support, so I'm just blame everything on her. But I knew that that is not going to get me anywhere in life. It's not going to give me the life that I absolutely love and I've desired. And I knew that the biggest revenge is to just show up for myself and be successful and be much better than the support that failed me. So I had to flip the switch. I taught myself how to be resilient and confident in all situations. I regained my power. I took all the opportunities that I've made for me, and you're going to hear more about all the opportunities soon. And yeah, that is kind of how I am where I am now. So yeah, I had every reason to give up, but I didn't. I pushed through. And just like you guys right now, I did find it difficult to show up because I felt like I was being a fraud. There was people out there who knew me, and they was watching everything I was doing, and they knew me as the old me. So imagine how hard that is to try show up for yourself when you've got these people who constantly call you rude or say that you're just awkward or you're this and that. Imagine showing up for yourself online and building a personal brand while these people are still watching. It's hard, but I promise you guys, you will get through it, and at some point you're just not even going to care. So after showing up for myself, I collaborated with brands and hotels. I've traveled to 8 countries solo in the past 2 years. I've made friends all over the world, connections all over, networked with absolutely all types of people. I've got over 1.4 million views on YouTube. I've created a global community of female creatives and entrepreneurs, and I've also encouraged them to build their own personal brands. And I'm now a retreat trip leader with Pangea Dreams, and we are the world's leading industry in educational retreats for women. So how amazing is that? I'm so proud that I've managed to do this for myself. Like, you don't even understand. Just seeing where I've come from and where I am now, it's just like, I'm so proud of it. And now I'm helping my clients do this too. And this is why I absolutely love coaching and why I feel so fulfilled coaching, because I get to help people, young women, little girls, females from all over the world who are maybe in a similar situation to me. I get to help them show up for themselves, live their best life, become a magnet to new opportunities, and just not let their old stories rewrite or dictate their future. So now what I want you guys to do, a little visualization session. Promise it won't take too long, but I just want you guys to close your eyes just for the next minute or so. And close your eyes, and whilst your eyes are closed, I want you to envision this. Just envision that you are living your best life. You're in a career that you absolutely love. You've built a dedicated tribe. You're showing up for yourself. You've set boundaries with people. You respect your time. You put full trust into yourself, and you trust all your decisions. Just think about this moment right now. Who would you be around? Who do you need to be? Where would you be? Who would you be with? Just think about that perfect moment for you where you've built a successful life and you're proud, and every day you're waking up happy, motivated, and inspired. Just think about that moment. Cool. And now you can open your eyes again. And now you've thought about that, I want you to think about this. Imagine that you are not able to do any of those things, all because you are scared of being judged. Imagine putting other people's opinions before your own and living your life pretty much for them. I know you guys don't want that for yourself. So if you don't want that, put a yes in the chat box and let's get started. So let's get into personal branding. Obviously, the topic I absolutely love. So what is personal branding? Personal branding is you. It's your image, your reputation, your values, your beliefs. It's how you carry yourself. It's a combination of your skills, your experience, and your personality. And it's showing up in the world and showing everyone your uniqueness. So that's what personal branding is. So why would you need to build a personal brand? Building a personal brand creates an emotional connection with your audience. So it's what's going to draw them into you. People connect with people, and this is for you. Even if you've got a service-based business or if you've got an actual physical product, It's so important to build a personal brand, because like I say, people are going to connect with you. If you've got an Instagram account or a Facebook account that's just your products and you're not showing the human behind it, people are not going to feel inspired or relate to that. So that's why you build a personal brand. It'll also differentiate you or your product or your service from competitors. There's so many people out here doing the exact same thing. So what makes all of these brands different? It's the person, the people, the message behind it. So that's another reason why you build your personal brand, because it'll differentiate you from any competitors out there. Then the final thing, it allows you to change your business ideas without losing your pre-built audience. So you guys don't even know how many times I've changed. I've gone from being a makeup and beauty blogger to a travel influencer to a mindset influencer to I've done it all. Basically, I have done it all. But yeah, I've still got my audience who have followed me through this, and that's because I took time to build my personal brand, so people love me for me. It doesn't matter what I'm saying, or it doesn't matter what service I'm offering, people are still going to follow me because I've built that tribe. So here are a few myths. Myth number 1 is, if I focus on one niche, I won't ever be able to talk about anything else. And this is so not true. I know we are all so multi-passionate. We want to talk about everything and anything. We've got so many skills, so many talents, and that is absolutely fine. No one is taking that away from you. No one's saying do not have all these interests and passions. But what we are saying is, if you are wanting, well, what I'm saying is, if you are wanting to build a brand, build a successful, profitable brand, you are going to have to focus on one specific area and being an expert in that area. No one's going to trust someone who talks about everything and everything all the time and tries to monetize that or tries to build a brand on that. So you are going to want to be specific on that. So now I'm going to show you my little diagram. Hope you guys like this. But I want to go over the main areas of building your personal brand, because a lot of people get these confused and they're definitely not all the same thing. So I want to make it very clear what these different areas are. So the first one is quite obvious, your passion. So that is the one thing that you are extremely passionate about, that you can talk about forever. For the rest of your life, you could talk about this subject. It fulfills you. It sparks so much joy. You feel so energized when you're talking about it. You can rant. You want to defend this all the time if anyone talks bad about this. This is your passion. So now let's talk about your target market. So the target market is the industry that you want to work in. So the industry is so broad. It can be anything. You could want to work in the travel industry, in the beauty industry, in the skincare industry, in the fashion industry. These are all industries that you're going to work in. So that's what your target market is. So your niche now, your niche is the area within that industry that you're going to specialize in. So for example, if your whole target market is travel, the niche area that you're going to specify in could be solo travel. So that's what your niche is. It is the area in that industry. So let's move on to your ideal client now. So your ideal client is that perfect person that you want to work with. Like when that person that is just on your level in so many different ways, that ideal client within that niche and within that target market, that is who your ideal audience or your ideal client is. So now let's use me as an example. So my target market is female creatives and business owners. So that's my full target market. My niche is mindset and personal branding for female business owners. So I'm just focusing on one specific area within that whole target market. I'm only giving them services, which is mindset and personal branding. So now my ideal client in this area, in that niche, is a young female creative entrepreneur who needs help building her confidence and maximizing her influence. So can you guys see how every step is just getting that little bit deeper and deeper and deeper into everything? So now let's take it back. Let's say, for example, my ideal client was a middle-aged woman who's already had multiple businesses, but she's wanting to rebrand. that could definitely be an ideal client for me because it's still within that same niche. I'm still teaching her how to build a personal brand, but it's just a completely different person. So can you guys see how it is a different ideal client, but it's in the same niche? And that's why trying to attract a range of different people just doesn't work, and you end up attracting no one. That 22-year-old female who is currently working in retail and literally is starting from scratch, she knows nothing about personal branding, she is going to be completely different to that middle-aged woman who has already built multiple businesses and she's just wanting to rebrand. They're on completely different levels. So that's why you have to get clear on exactly who it is that you are trying to speak to. So I'm going to give you another example now. Let's say the target market that you are working in is female travelers. So that's the industry that you're going to be working in. The niche could be solo female travelers. So that's taking it that little bit further. And then the ideal client could be young female travelers who are about to take their first solo trip. So it's not for young female travelers who have already taken many solo trips. They already know everything. They're fully equipped on solo travel. This isn't for them. Your service is not for them. Your service is for solo female travelers who are about to take their first trip. So by narrowing down your niche, people see you as an authority. So if you were going to take your first solo trip, who are you going to trust? The person who shares information or offers services for everyone, or that person that specifically focuses on young female travelers who are about to take their first trip? Obviously, you're going to go to that person because you feel like they're going to be an expert and they're going to be able to help you and guide you and assist you a lot more than someone that works for everyone. So yeah, that's that. So I hope that made it clearer of what all these different areas are. So when you are thinking about who's your target market, what niche, and who's your ideal client, just think about this diagram because it'll definitely help. So myth number 2, I need to be an expert and know everything about my niche before I can speak on it. One second, guys. Let me just make sure I'm still recording. Yeah, I am. Cool. So yeah, I need to be an expert and know everything about my niche before I speak on it. Again, this is not true, and this is something I also believed, and this is why it took me a whole year to build my coaching, to launch my coaching business, because I thought I had to know everything. But what I've realized is you only need to be one step ahead of your ideal audience or your ideal client to be valuable to them. Your ideal audience are not going to be looking 10 steps ahead at this person that's already built 100,000 followers or whatever it is. They're not going to be looking at them. They're going to want to see how to just get that to that next level, to the step that you're at right now. So yeah, it's a really bad mindset to feel like you have to be an expert and you have to know it all, because we're always learning. We're always trying new things. Think about your idol right now, someone who's just one step above you. You constantly want to learn from them. You constantly gain value from them. So that's just going to be the same thing that applies to the person that's just one step below you. They only want to get to your level, and you can definitely help them get there. Myth number 3, you have to be an extrovert, loud, super outgoing to build a personal brand. Again, this is not true. And again, this is something that I had to teach myself as well. Because like I said before, guys, I am an introvert. I'm still an introvert. I'm just a confident one because I had to push myself out of it. I had to push my own boundaries. But I'm still an introvert and very reserved at times. So when I'm going to networking events, or sometimes when I didn't feel comfortable at networking events, I'd just like be quiet and be reserved to myself. And I used to always see that as a negative thing. But what I've realized is my personal brand is me. Your personal brand is you. So there's no point in you being fake and showing off a different persona if really you act a different way, because people are going to see straight through that. So I'm going to give you some examples of some influencers that you may know who are also quite introverted, and they're not loud, they're not in your face, they keep themselves to themselves, but yet they're still successful. So the main one is Peak Mill. I don't know if you guys know Peak Mill, but she is a YouTuber. She's always been like reserved to herself. She doesn't post too much of her life, but yet she's almost got 1 million subscribers. She probably has 1 million by now, I'm not too sure. But yeah, she is the main example of how you can be yourself and still be successful and not trying to be loud or acting like something you're not. Another example is Shirley B. Enyang. She was also someone who was quite reserved, quite to herself. Yes, she went to networking events here and there, but she was never in your face or in drama or loud. And again, she's been extremely successful. Again, Samantha Maria, you can tell I was like a beauty influencer at one time. But Samantha Maria is another one. She, again, keeps herself to herself. She's always said how she's been shy, she's been quiet, she's suffered with social anxiety, but yet she's still successful. So that, again, is a myth. You do not have to be loud. You do not have to be someone you're not in order to build a successful personal brand. Okay. So now, guys, I want you to promise me one thing. Going forward from this masterclass, I want you to promise me that you are going to stop calling yourself aspiring. Stop writing aspiring in your bio. The amount of times I see this and it cringes me out, because you are not aspiring to do anything. You need to own it. Whatever it is that you want to do, you just need to say, this is who I am. A lot of people have aspiring in the bio, and if you just see yourself as aspiring, you're only ever going to show up as an aspiring person would. You're never going to show up for yourself in full force, because you're always going to be like, oh, well, I'm aspiring to do it, so one day I'll get there, so I'll just act like one day. But one day is never going to come. Do you think I was ready to call myself a coach before I called myself one? No. I didn't have that much experience in coaching, but I just put it out there. I said, yep, I'm a coach now, and here I am. And people took me seriously, because I feel like that's the one thing everyone's scared of, that no one's going to take you seriously. So if you put aspiring in there, it kind of reduces the pressure off yourself. But no, it's either all or nothing, guys. So if you've got aspiring in your bio, in your name, whatever it is right now, take it out, please. Thank you. Now let's move on. So let's get into the 4 C's of branding. One second, I'm just going to get a drink. Cool. So the 4 C's of building your brand is context. So who are you trying to attract? What is your brand story? Then it's content. Creating content that speaks to your audience. Community building a dedicated tribe. And then, of course, consistency. So showing up for yourself and automating your brand. So like I've said, if you try and speak to everyone, you end up speaking to no one. So it's so important to have context. So what is your brand story? Like you guys have seen, I've just shared with you a bit of my story, and I can guarantee that's made me more relatable to some of you guys out there. So you have to think, what is your brand story? What are the 3 things that have happened in your life that have just been a complete turning point for you, and it's made you the person that you are right now? For me, obviously, one of them is the relationship I've had with my parents and being so independent and having to support myself. That's a bit of my brand story. There's a lot more to unfold, but that's one turning point for me. I knew I needed better for myself, so that was my brand story number 1. So I want you to think about those 2 questions. What is your brand story, and what was your turning point? But then I also want you to think about, if you were going to host your first ever TED Talk, what would you be talking about? And I actually want you guys to leave that in the chat right now, because I love being nosy. But if you guys were to host your first ever TED Talk next week, what topic would you be talking about? Leave it in the chat box. I want to see. Cool. So then the next thing we are going to get onto is the content. So I'm going to talk about the 3 main types of content that you need to be posting. So the first one is discoverable. So this is the content that is really searchable, where you're directly targeting everyone's pain points, you're providing solutions to questions, your content, your titles, your thumbnails are so optimized, everything's just on point and perfect, and you know, that nice aesthetic that people are going to look for. So for example, think about the type of things that you search on YouTube. So you may search how to get more followers on Instagram, how to build a community. All this is searchable content. So you need to be giving them quick tips within your content that people are going to find valuable. So that's how you are, so that's how it's what was I going to say? Yeah, so that's the first one, discoverable content. So then the next one is community building content. So this is the content that connects you and how you get to know your audience. So you convert your cold leads into warm leads, you build relationships, and you share vulnerable content. So like I've just shared my story with you, that's going to make me feel more relatable to you, and that's how I build that community, because you're opening up to people and people feel like they can talk to you and they can trust you because you've shared with them. So ways that you can get to know your audience is, of course, asking them questions, actually making an effort to communicate and to engage with them. And then the last type of content is sales. So this is the type of content that directs people directly to your sales pages, to your webinars, to your products, to your opt-ins. These are dedicated posts to sell your services, and don't feel ashamed to sell your services. This masterclass is not about sales, but I will post one maybe about sales in the future. But yeah, do not be ashamed or afraid to sell your services, because you're offering value to people. Don't feel guilty about it. You're helping better people's lives by offering your service or by sharing your product. And then you also want to be sharing testimonials from your previous clients. So what have people said about you in the past, about your products, about your service? What have people said? You want to be sharing that and showing other people why they need to invest in your service too. So, 1 second. I'm just reading the chat. Oh, that's amazing. Loving everything in there. I'll catch up with the chat soon. Let's keep it moving. Okay, so that's content. So now let's move on to building your community. So I'm going to give you a few quick tips of things that you can implement literally from right now to start building your community. So the first thing is to engage with your current audience. No matter how small you might feel your audience is right now, it is so important to engage with them. 1 second, guys. Where's my... Oh, it's there. Yeah, sorry about that, just lost my screen. So yeah, it's easy to look at the followers as just numbers, but you have to remember that there's actual people behind these numbers. So maybe if you've got just like 50 followers at the moment, that is 50 people. That is a lot of people. So no matter how small your audience is, you want them to feel loved. You want them to feel accepted and invited into your content. There is absolutely nothing worse and more insulting than saying things like, oh, but I don't have any followers, when in reality you do. Even if it's 30 people, that's still people. So you want to nurture this audience and start building from the small audience that you've got. So I don't know if you guys have heard of the theory 1,000 true fans, sorry. So what that basically means is, as long as you can build a community of 1,000 engaged fans or supporters, you'll be set for life. Because no matter what you put out there, you'll just be set for life no matter what it is that you're wanting to do. So yeah, just focus on building a dedicated community and do not think about the numbers. And you are at such an advantage when you do have a smaller audience, because you've got a chance, like I say, to nurture them, to actually build genuine connections, and you've got a chance to fail. Say you launch something and it goes wrong, you've got a chance to fail and to just learn from your mistakes. The next one is to collaborate with similar accounts. Collaboration is so important, and it's definitely the main thing that's going to build your audience, because by collaborating with similar people, you're being exposed to their audiences and they're being exposed to your audiences, and it's just a win-win situation for everyone. So what I want you guys to do is to go away and think about some people that you could possibly collaborate with, and think of some ideas for the collaboration and just message them, see if they're interested. I can guarantee that they will be. So next, you then want to spend 20 minutes a day introducing yourself to new people that follow you. And when I tell my clients to do this, they're like, what, really? And I'm like, yeah, if you want to build an engaged community, an engaged following, you have to engage with people. What do you expect? Like, you're going to have to actually engage with people and put yourself out there. So what you want to do when new people follow you, just take a couple of minutes to say, hey, use their name to make it personal. So If I was talking to you, Robin, let's say, I'd be like, hey, Robin, I'm Montelle. Nice to connect with you. I'm a personal brand and mindset coach. What is it you do? And just ask them that. Build that rapport with them. Build that short conversation. And I can guarantee they're going to remember you and they're going to want to support you. As soon as you post something new, they're going to be the first person to like it, because they're going to remember, oh, she actually went out of her way to communicate with me. And it's not just like a follower, a transaction thing like that. It's an actual connection. So that's the first thing that you want to do. We spend so much time on these apps anyway, so you've literally got no excuse. The next one is to use alternative platforms to cross-promote. So if you're trying to build your Instagram, for example, the best thing for you to do is go over to Facebook and introduce people to your Instagram from Facebook. Or if you've got a YouTube channel, go onto YouTube, tell people to follow you on Instagram. You want to alternate between your platforms and cross-promote on different platforms. For example, I've just gone onto Facebook. I've been in Facebook groups for the past couple of days. I've just been offering free value, and then I've been like, you know what, hop over to my Facebook group or come on, follow me on Instagram. And in the past few days, I've got 50 new followers. So that's how easy it can be if you just cross promote and be strategic. And then lastly, you want to offer value by hosting free giveaways or just freebies in general. People love a freebie. When I tell you, people love anything that is free. So if you can, if you can host a freebie or a giveaway, just something, I can guarantee people will definitely be wanting to join. And it's that simple, guys. It really is that simple, but are you willing to do the work? That's all it is. The last one we're going to go on to today is content pillar. We're going to go into consistency now. So if you're one of my clients, you've definitely heard me talk about content pillars. Absolutely love them, swear by them. But if you haven't yet heard of content pillars, it basically is the main topics that your content will rotate around. So it helps to keep your content consistent, and it helps to keep your message consistent. People know what to expect. People know that they're going to have these same topics week in, week out. It's not going to be one week you're talking about travel, and then the next week you're talking about something completely different, like knitting, like something like that. So you want to stay consistent. And it also prevents the overwhelm of not knowing what to post. I know we've all been there when we've thought, what am I going to post today? If you create these content pillars and then you fill them out with different ideas, different topics, it will just be so much easier and so much more refreshing for you to look back at this and know that you've already got ideas. So here's an example of my content pillars. This is slightly outdated, but this is a rough example of what they are. So my pillar number 1 is growing an audience. 2 is building a personal brand. 3 is discovering your why. 4 is becoming location independent, and 5 is social media strategy. And then as you can see underneath these, I've wrote various different topics for each of those pillars. So normally when I'm doing a full strategy session, I will complete this full thing, and it'll just be full of all different ideas for YouTube videos, Instagram captions, Instagram posts, all that good stuff. I'll fill it out as much as possible. And then when you do this, if you say, for example, if you post 5 times a week, you've got different content topics on different days, so people know what to expect. And it just helps you to stay in order and stay in check as well, because you know what you need to be doing at each given time. So what I'd advise for you guys to do is to think of between 3 and 5 content pillars that your content is going to consistently rotate around week in and week out. So for example, if you're a lifestyle blogger, maybe one day you're going to talk about different routines that you've got, like productivity routines, and then you may talk about like your outfits for the week, or you may talk about your meals for the week, like whatever it is. Think about topics that you want to share with your audience, but only choose between 3 and 5, and then you can rotate around them throughout the week. But yeah, that is content pillars. Absolutely love them. So now, guys, we're going to get on to monetizing, which I know you guys all want to know about. You all have asked me so many questions about how do I work with this brand, how do I work with that brand, and I definitely will be answering those questions in later masterclasses. But however, in this masterclass, I'm going to be showing you guys 2 different ways that you can monetize right now. Because working with brands and being sponsored, doing collaborations, they're all good and well, but honestly, that will take a bit of time to build. So what I wanted to give you guys is 2 ways that you can monetize your platform right now. No matter how many followers you've got, no matter how small your platform is, even if you're starting from scratch, you could literally start offering these services and you can make money. That's what I do. Like I've said, I've only got 5.5k followers on Instagram and I've got 12,000 on YouTube. So it's still pretty small, right? If I was just solely relying on collaborations and sponsorships, it'd take forever to make money. But I'm being strategic and I've created digital products and services, which is what I'm going to talk about now. So a digital product is a product or service that's intangible, e.g. a ebook, course, graphics, templates, all this good stuff. This is stuff we can all create literally right now. We can go into Canva, we can create a new digital product and we can sell it. You guys all know that I've got my pitching kit, which is the 6-piece template bundle for pitching brands and hotels. I created that on a Google document and I'm selling that for £27 right now. And people are buying it and people are loving it. So what's the benefit of that? It's a low cost product and it's a low risk, but it's such a high profit. I literally made that within a couple of days and I've made over £1,000. Almost nearly £1,500 I've made on this. So that's the beauty of it. Anyone can create a digital product. We've all got something that we can share that people want to know and we can package it up and create a product. So that's digital products. The next one is offering a service. So you can share your knowledge in exchange for money, and you can do this by offering consultations, offering coaching sessions, doing courses. Everybody's got something that they're knowledgeable in and is worth sharing. It's just about having the confidence to actually package that up and offer it to people. But you could make so much money off either doing one-on-one sessions, one-off sessions, or you can actually do a full package. Like, just get creative. There's so much money to be made out there. It's just you holding yourself back with all these limiting beliefs, feeling like you have to have a certain amount of followers. Followers means nothing. You could have 50 people in your audience and you could sell a course for £100. How much is that you've just made? £5,000? Oh, I hope that's right. Yeah, I think that's right. But you know where I'm getting at. Like, it does not matter about numbers at all. You guys are just seeing it from an influencer perspective. Like, in order to work with brands and this and that, you have to have all these followers, which is also not true. And I will talk about that in later masterclasses. But for right now, I want you guys to think about what digital product could you launch right now, or what service could you launch, whether it be a physical service or whether it be a like an online service. What could you offer? So yeah, have a think about that. And that is it, guys. That brings us to the end of everything we're going to cover today. So just to recap, we've spoke about how you can build your personal brand. We've spoke about the different types of niches, target markets, areas, and your ideal client, so you can really start to hone in on who it is that you are trying to attract. We've also spoke about the different styles of content. So you've got the discoverable content, your community, and then your sales content. We've also spoke about content pillars, so how you can be consistent and how you can be strategic, how you can think about these different topics that are going to follow you throughout your brand. We've also spoke about building your brand story, and that's something I really want you guys to work on, because your brand story is so powerful for building a personal brand, because that's what's going to make people relatable to you and gain that personal connection with you. So if you follow the key strategies in this masterclass and repeat it again and again and again, I can guarantee you that you're going to be well on your way to building a successful and profitable personal brand. It's just all about building your confidence and getting in that right mindset that you can actually do this. This is something you can achieve. And like I said at the start, this is not for you if you want in a quick fix, or if you're just wanting everything to just fall into your laps and you're not wanting to work for it. This is not going to be for you. And that is exactly why I have created my new coaching program, which is Brand Your Influence. So yeah, I want to introduce you guys to Brand Your Influence now. So it's a 6-week group coaching experience to uncover your brand story, master your content, and build a dedicated online community. So by the end of the Brand Your Influence coaching program, you will be crystal clear on your brand story and how to use it to attract the perfect audience. You'll create a system that you can replicate and automate that will build your personal brand without the overwhelm of thinking, oh, how do I do it? What do I need to post? You will know exactly what you need to be doing. You'll also be creating high quality content that is on brand and engages with your audience. So again, high quality does not mean you're going to have all this equipment, you need this camera, you need that. You just need to be posting content that is of a good quality, of a good standard, and that is valuable to others. You're also going to understand exactly how to build your platform effectively and grow consistently. You're going to build a community of supporters who notice you even when you don't post. Do you know how many times I try to go ghost on social media and I get DMs from people saying, Montelle, where are you? So that's how noticeable I am now, and that's how impactful I am. People are waiting for me to share something or to share my knowledge. And then lastly, you are also going to be fully equipped on everything you need to know to monetize your brand. So within the coaching program, we're going to be talking about the digital products, the services, but then we will be talking about how you can collaborate with brands and hotels as an influencer. So this program is for you if you are a powerful creative and you are ready to kickstart your online journey. So here's exactly what it will look like within the program. So week 1, you'll be uncovering your brand story. So a bit like what I said, what are the 3 main things that have happened that have brought you to where you are today? And we're really going to piece together your brand story so you can be relatable and attract an audience that want to hear from you. Week 2 is all about crafting your standout brand. So what makes you unique? What will attract people to you? And yeah, it's just all about creating that unique brand that is just really resonates with you and just is something that you're really comfortable with and you're really proud of. Week 3 is all about setting up your platforms for success. So right now, you may not even know what platform you need to be on. Should you be on Facebook? Should you be on Instagram? Like, you feel like you should be on Instagram because everyone's on there, but maybe for your brand, you need to be on YouTube or LinkedIn. Like, maybe you just don't know if you're on the right platform right now. So week 3 is all about setting up your platforms, and we are gonna be talking about how to use Instagram effectively, how to set up your bio, how to set up your images, etc. We will be talking about YouTube and building and video content, everything like that. Week 4 is going to be your content creation strategy. So what exactly do you need to post? We're going to really go deeper into the content pillars and piece together everything that you need to post in your content strategy. And we're also going to talk about how you can automate that. So how you can use services such as later.com to automate your posts so you're not consistently having to post, because who wants to do that? Who wants to spend hours thinking about an Instagram caption and then posting it at that minute? You want to be posting things a week in advance, or you want to be scheduling things a week in advance. Week 5 is going to be all about building an engaged community. So of course we want that community aspect. We want people who are going to support everything that we do, who are going to love everything that we put out there. So I will be telling you all the strategies on how you can build this dedicated community. And then week 6 is all about branding your influence. So how can you take your influence from your online platform, and translate it offline as well? How can you collaborate with brands? How can you be getting speaking engagements? How can you be on podcasts? How can you be guest posting? All of that good stuff. How can you make a real solid, profitable brand from your influence, from whatever it is that you're passionate about? So that's what the course is going to cover. So what it looks like inside is you will get a one-on-one 60-minute strategy session. This is only for the early birds who sign up before Monday, tomorrow actually. And then there's also going to be 6 live trainings. There's going to be Q&A sessions. You're going to have access to a Facebook community, weekly activities, and you're going to have accountability and guidance. So for this full 6 weeks, you're going to have unlimited support to me. If you've got any questions, ask them. You're going to have a dedicated community of people who are also building, who are in a similar position to you. So everyone can bounce ideas off of each other. It's not necessarily just coming from me, but of course you're always going to have access to me as well. And special little a new thing that's just been added today. I am going to be, well, sorry, you will receive a personalized design logo for your new brand. So I'm going to be working with a graphic designer, and she is just amazing. She's created such nice logos, but for your personal brand, you will receive a logo included within the program. So that is everything included. So Brand Your Influence is showing you guys the exact process that I follow to get to exactly where I am right now. So if you just feel like you do not know how to get to the next level, the next point, where do you need to position yourself? What content do you need to be posting? What do you need to do? This is exactly what I'm going to be covering in this 6-week program. So I'm so excited. I really hope you guys do join the program. If you just really want to get to that next level, but you're not sure how, I can guide you to that next level. So that is the end of the masterclass. I want to ask you guys, do you have any questions? Anything at all. It can be either about the program, or it can be about the masterclass, or if you've got a personal question, just anything. Does anybody have any questions?
I am hiya.
Oh,
hello.
Hi. If you don't mind just doing it in the chat, please. Sorry, I should have said that. If you just type the question in the chat. Sorry, I definitely should have said that. Just looking through the chat as well. Yes, Shakira, there will be a replay literally after the masterclass. I'm going to email you all a replay. Oh, not a question. I just wanted to say I really enjoyed that. Oh, I am so glad you enjoyed that. Amazing. You guys let me know if you enjoyed it as well. But if you do have any questions, if you don't feel comfortable putting it in the chat, then definitely reach out to me on email or reach out to me on Instagram, however you'd like to do it. Like I say, sorry, I'm just reading this. So like I say, Brand Your Influence is going to be kicking off early next month. So the early bird pricing is currently £397, and that will be ending tomorrow. However, if you are interested in joining, you can join by just securing a small deposit, and that'll secure your place going forward for next month. But yeah, I would absolutely love to see you guys in there. So if you have any questions, I would love to get chatting with you. If you want to book in a free call, no obligation whatsoever, we can just discuss it and see if it is a right fit for you. So I do have a question. Let me just see. So how much is the deposit? So the deposit would be £100. So if you just translate that into whatever currency you're in right now, but it'll be £100 for the deposit, and then you can pay the rest once the course starts, which is going to be early next month, looking at February the 4th, depending on what fits everyone else. Do you think it's possible to do this if you have a full-time job? Absolutely. You just have to be strategic with what you do. So like I say, it's going to be a lot of automating your systems and scheduling beforehand, because you never want to be posting content on the spot, because you're going to feel so overwhelmed, and you're just going to feel so overwhelmed. So it's nice to have a dedicated structure, but it is absolutely possible to do this while you have a full-time job. It's just putting that commitment in and using your job as a driving force to know it's getting you to that next level. I'll tell you something, guys. When I was working full-time, I wanted to get out of that job so much. I really wanted to get out of that job. And now looking back, I'm thinking, you know what, Montelle, you could have stayed there for a bit longer, because I left that job and I went traveling, but I still had debt to pay. And now it's not a lot of debt, but I'm still in debt right now, like credit card debts and stuff. And it's like, if I would have been smart, I would have stayed at that job a bit longer, got myself completely out of debt, saved up, had an emergency fund, and then I could have moved away from the job. So it's like every day, just going to work and tell yourself, this job is funding a better lifestyle for you. And hopefully that will motivate you to feel okay and not feel like you just want to rip your hair out or quit your job straight away, and you'll know that it's helping a better cause. But if you are going to be working full time, you need to make sure you are going home and at least working on your business in some way, or at least working on your brand. What's the point spending 8+ hours a day working for somebody else, building their dream, and then coming home, watching Netflix, watching YouTube, going for a nap, going to sleep, and you're not working on what you want to do. That's the same mindset that keeps you in that job for years to come. So as long as you are, even if you just spend an hour a day working on building your brand or your business, it's better than nothing. Amazing. Thank you for coming, Tamara. I will see you very soon. I will see you next week as well. Oh my gosh, so excited. But yeah, so that's answering that question about can you do this if you're working full time? Absolutely. Does anybody have any more questions? How do you stay resilient through this? So if you're asking me that bye. So if you mean how do you stay resilient in regards to having a full-time job, is that what you mean by that, or something else? And then also just to answer, I answered that question. Yeah, the deposit is £100 and the early bird is £397 if you want to pay in full. Let me see. Do you have a list of apps that schedule posts on different platforms? Yeah, so at the moment I'm using later.com. So I was using Plannerly, but I changed from Plannerly just because, one, you have to pay for it, and two, it's only for Instagram. But with later.com, it's actually free and it auto-publishes your posts for you, so you don't have to worry about posting it yourself. And you can also post on Instagram and Facebook, and I believe you can even post on Twitter as well. But I would suggest using later.com. It's a really good platform, definitely. Let me see. Oh, no problem. Does anybody else have any questions? So nice to see so many of you guys on here. I really do hope you join the program. If you are serious about building your brand, maximizing your influence, and monetizing your platform, this is going to be the perfect starting point for you. Everyone has to start somewhere, and maybe you're watching this thinking, but Montelle, there's so much free information out there. Yes, I know that. And I was in that same thing thinking, oh, I'll just take all the free information. But it wasn't until I actually got a coach myself, I've elevated to the next level. Because if you're taking in all these different opinions from all these different people with this free content, they're only sharing a limited amount of content. They're not actually telling you exactly what it is you need to do. They're only sharing that amount. And then in order to get the full experience or the full benefit, you're going to have to pay for it. So now is the time to start thinking about investing in your brand if you are serious. If you're not serious about building your brand right now, that's absolutely fine. Maybe you've got different priorities, other things you want to focus on. That's absolutely fine. But if you are serious, you need to think about investing. I've got ideas, but not good on social media. I don't know who that is because your phone just says iPhone, so I don't know who you are. But if you write your name, or if you want to send me an email, we can definitely have a quick call and I can help you out with that. But does anybody else have any questions? We'll leave it another minute or so. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any different topic ideas that you want me to discuss, let me know and I'll definitely do that. Okay, cool. It doesn't look like we've got any more questions. So lastly, I just want to make sure you guys are following me on all of my platforms. So YouTube at Montelle B, my new Facebook community, which is Montelle B Community. I will be going live and doing weekly live trainings on there. And then of course my Instagram, which is Montelle B. So that is that. And lastly, I just want to thank you guys so much for coming. This was so fun. I really hope you enjoyed it and I cannot wait to work with you in the program. It's going to be amazing, so hopefully you make it in there, but if not, I'm sure there'll be plenty more opportunities for us to work together in the future. So yeah, I'm super excited. And yeah, I just want to say bye to you all. Thank you all for coming. Bye, Falguni, sorry, couldn't even talk then. I will see you next week. Bye, Lydia. Thank you so much for coming. Anyone else? No problem. Nelisa, thank you. Mal, thank you. I will see you all soon. Thanks for the love. Bye, sis. Bye, babe. Bye, Taylor. Oh, you guys are so cute. I will see you all soon. Thank you so much for coming, and I'll chat to you on bye Shamika. I'll chat to you on Instagram or Facebook. Make sure if you are on Facebook, join my Facebook community. Bye Shakira. Right, bye everyone.